Hello and welcome back to TouchlineTalks, where we talk everything sports, Premier League and football. Today we got a special guest in the name of Adrian Clifton. If you want to introduce yourself a bit.
Hi guys, I'm Adrian Clifton, ex-pro, currently still playing not national league, currently still playing part-time football for Hazelhead. Been with clubs like Bournemouth, Maidenhead, Dagenham. Most people probably know me from Bournemouth because we had quite a good cup run getting to the FA Cup fifth round, which was a great experience. Hackney born and raised. Yes.
Brilliant. That's great. And then we also got Jaden opposite him and Addison opposite me. So today we just really want to get an insight into not only professional football, but also, academy life and also a bit of the, adversity that comes with both professional and academy life. So my first question is obviously to start this video is what is a piece of advice you would give to the next generation of young football players that want to go through the academy route into professional?
Um, One bit of advice I'd give like a young person now, knowing what I know now, is wanting to be a footballer isn't easy. I think you need to be prepared. If you're not prepared to give it your all over a certain period of time and potentially still fail, then football's probably not it's probably not a route I'd advise you to take because there's a lot involved in becoming a pro. You need luck, you need hard work. You're gonna get more setbacks than you will the other way. So you will fail more times than you succeed with football.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to go through that, if you ain't got that burning desire where it's just football or nothing, then you won't really be successful. It'll be tough.
Would you say the ones that are mentally stronger are the ones that make it? Or
Definitely. Again, knowing what I know now, when you're young, you just think the best player, that whoever's the best, like, has the most chance of making it pro, playing in the Prem or whatever. But it's not really the truth, because it's not always the best player. It's the ones that are the most mentally strong, the ones that can handle the setbacks, handle failing and going again. Those typically the ones that go to the top. Like a prime example, James Milner. Not like you wouldn't say, as football fans, you wouldn't say he's the sickest, would you?
Yeah.
He's never been the
Not
best
best
at any team. He's
technically,
been
not the best.
no, but he's very. So this is the thing. He works hard. He's still playing in the Premier League. He's almost 40.
I think he's all going to break a record as well.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like, you get more James Milners would make it than Balotelli's.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like, that's the advice. You need to I think. Another thing is young people don't understand that football is actually a job.
Yeah.
Although you enjoy playing it, there comes a working side of it, and that's what I find with the man. You get like a street level player, like you get guys in the ends that are cold, and they couldn't play pro because they don't get football, but they can ball though, but they don't understand it from a tactical perspective, and all these sort of things. But yeah, you need to be prepared to work hard and take information.
Do you,
Sorry, just one thing I want to know is that you've been there, you've done that academy football,
Yeah.
as well as the non-league route. In terms of your personal experience for an aspiring pro, what do you believe is the best route? For example, let me just give you an example. You're 18, you're looking at playing professional football.
Yeah.
What do you think is the better route? Either A, academy football, or high levels of non-league at step 4 and above?
Alright, so for me, I think everybody's situation is different because you can get one 18-year-old that's at a level now and he's ready to go into men's football, step 4 and above. And then you get another 18-year-old who isn't ready and he should still stay in academy football up to the 23s. Depending on where you are physically, emotionally, mentally developed, depends on your route. So ideally for me, if I was advising my son or a younger me, I'd be trying to get into men's football as soon as I can. However, like I said, it's not always the best route. It depends on the person. So I'll give you an example like this. If I am physically developed, and I can handle with the physical demand of men's football, and I'm 18 and I've just been released by an academy, would I be trying to get into another academy, or would I be trying to get into a team that's playing men's football? I'd want to go to a team that's playing men's football. The sooner you can play men's football, the faster you'll learn. But again, it depends on the person, like where you are. Because I've seen it. I've seen young boys that come to us, get released from Arsenal, for example, and he comes and tries to play with us. It's like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
They just can't believe, even though it's a lot lower the level than what he's used to in terms of the clubs and stuff, they get a shock when they come and play men's football. Like the strength, even decision making, the quickness, everything's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd advise to definitely get into men's football as far as you can. But also, like I said, it depends on the person. Because some boys ain't ready. Some boys ain't ready. They might develop at 20. They might now start to look like an adult and start to get that sort of. Do you get what I'm saying? So it depends on the person. But if you're physically ready, I'd say get in there as soon as you can. Because it's like anything. You train to do something, or actually doing it. You're gonna learn more by actually doing it. Is what I find. So yeah, I'd say get into men's football, and also especially now, all this step 4, this step 1 down to step 4, even step 5. Like people are watching, and the level's a lot better now.
Yeah.
It gets better every year. So, but a lot of boys that get released, they find it hard to come into them levels. They gotta bring their own kit. They gotta wash their own kit.
A different sort of ball game.
It's totally different. It's like being released into the jungle. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no more. You don't get looked after anymore. You're an adult. You get treated like an adult. So like I've seen it. We had a few boys come from Wimbledon to Hazelhead and that I'm at now, and like they just couldn't believe it. You know that time, like having to contribute to picking up cones or all stuff like that. They didn't understand it, but that's how it goes, isn't it? When you drop out of that academy
So
system.
what more do you think academies could do to help that transition for younger players?
So it's a lot different to when I was younger. When I was younger, there was no help. There was no help from transitioning from being in the academy to being released. They weren't. Once you're not on their books, you're not their concern. I think nowadays, I know someone like Chelsea, they're doing a lot of work with their academy kids that are released and the ones that are staying on. They've focused a lot of player care, and I see a lot of player care roles happening at clubs now. Like all the Cat 1 clubs, which is good. So I think they're definitely doing more than what they were doing when I was younger. But because I haven't been involved in it, I couldn't tell you what it is they're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only from other parents. Like I have friends that have got kids in academies now.
Do you reckon like when people are getting released from academies, like not getting scholars, do you feel like academies should do more to like get them more opportunities? Because we see a lot of like kids that they're left with nowhere to go.
Yeah, I was one of them. I didn't get my YTS, the scholar at Arsenal. And when I got released by Arsenal, in my meeting they were like Chelsea, Bristol, Tottenham, West Ham, and they're reeling off all these teams. I'm like, huh? Like, well, how comes you know what me in my head, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say it. But he was just like, yeah, you can speak to these clubs, but then that was it. I was in a meeting with my teammate's dad, because my mum weren't there, so you need to have an adult. So then, following on from that, I've got all these interests for these clubs, but I wasn't put in touch, because you would think, they would probably imagine the parent would be like, okay, chase that up, but there wasn't none of that. So nothing got followed up. So that there, for example, there should have been more done to get me in contact with these clubs. I did eventually get in contact with West Ham, but that's because one of the coaches was an ex-Arsenal coach, so I knew him. So it wasn't hard for him to get in contact. But in terms of like Chelsea and Tottenham and Bristol, I never ever spoke to them.
Based on what you said about like knowing the guy from West Ham, do you feel like connections are like very important?
Yeah, I think that applies with anything in life.
Yeah.
You know, anything in life. If you have a relationship with someone, it always makes the transition and everything a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you find yourself, now that you're playing in obviously non-league at Hazelhead, do you find a lot of the time when you're at academy level, you see those attributes that you're bringing into the game nowadays, and you see that you may have a different attribute to someone who's just turned into men's football.
Yeah. What are you asking me?
So essentially, what I'm asking is, what are the main attributes that you picked up as a player from academy football, bringing it over?
I think what's good about academy football is it actually teaches. If you're in it long enough, it actually teaches you about football from a strategic point of view. And like I said, football is a job. Like, it is an actual job. Academies prepare you for that side of football in terms of structure, how football's played, structure, start to finish, all of these sort of things. So that helps for younger players when they come into the men's game, because you need to actually understand that. The one thing they usually do struggle with is the physical aspect, which is understandable. But academies definitely teach you about football, and they give you good habits. They give you very good habits. And when you see an academy player, I know straight away, if two 18-year-olds, even a 20-year-old, even a little bit older, comes into foot training and I watch him play, I'll know if he's been in the academy or not. Just by the start, just the way he receives the ball, the technical side of stuff, how he takes information, you can kind of see who's had that academy education.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, like, you've been playing in the game for a while. Who would you say is the best player you've played against or with?
The best player I've played against? Ooh. Do you know what? I get asked this question, and I actually don't know the name of the guy. But like, I played against yeah. Do you know what? So when I started playing for Montserrat, you play against islands. You start playing against. We played Aruba. That was a country, and there's this boy, this Latin guy. He played for Trabzonspor. He's in Turkish Super League. They're in the Champions League and all that. Played against him noticeably. He was probably one of the best players I've played against, because I've never played against someone who could literally just it's like he was like in school you get the one big guy just running around everyone. Like, it was taking us four players attacking him at times. You know what I mean? I can't actually remember his name, but like even other players we play against a few Prem boys, but this guy here,
different kettle.
I thought raw. Like, you can't get a ball off him. You go near him, he's just gone. I don't remember his name though. So if I was to say on the player I do remember, as an adult or as a kid?
Or as an adult,
as an adult. Well, I played against Everton. So I played against Everton only 3 years ago. I'd say probably the one that most impressed me in that game was Alan.
Oh yeah,
the centre midfielder. One touch, two touch, like. You look at him, he's never breathing heavy. He just are we playing the same game? Like, you couldn't get nowhere near him. But that's in terms of like just that aspect of football, because I'll play centre mid or I'll play up front. So I've always look at a striker or a centre mid. So Alan, in terms of like footballing, he was a joke. But Richarlison as well. Who else in that team? Townsend was there, but they weren't that good that day. He weren't. No, he was injured. Sure.
But still, like high level players. Do you get it?
Yeah. Who else? We played Bournemouth. Dominic Solanke was good. He was good. The guy that I think's the best, I can't remember his name. I need to find his name.
Based on the topic, you're naming all the players that you played against and stuff. What do you believe has been your hardest game? You know those games where you come up with like, that was a tough day.
Do you know the hardest game? The hardest game is playing against your previous club that you actually had loads of good relationships with people. Because for me, when I play football, I've straight away put myself in a mood of I don't like him, I don't like her, fuck that guy, fuck this. I'm one of them guys. So I don't like playing against my friends. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna hurt like at some point if I get the chance. Do you know? That's how I play. So I'm not saying I can't play against my friends, but I used to play against Maidenhead when I left there. for like Bournemouth and Dagenham. I didn't really like playing against them because I couldn't put myself in that space.
Yeah.
I just physically I couldn't.
Too close to.
Yeah, like I always lost against them.
Okay.
Anytime I played against them outside of playing for them, I've lost against them. So yeah, that's probably was the hardest going back to York Road and playing against them.
And in terms of playing in front of big crowds, you know, you've been there, done that. It's like, what do you believe? Like, does it add a lot of pressure depending on attendance? What do you feel as a player that's playing?
Yeah, so like now I'm playing in front of like 50 to 100, maybe 200 max at home at Hazelden. I've played in front of 40,000 quite a few times, to be honest. The difference, depending on the person, well, naturally it brings a pressure. Of course it is. If we got 100, if we had 1,000 people in here and only 4 of us, you'd feel the difference. You know what I mean?
100%.
Watching you. But someone like me, I thrive off that energy. It's energy, innit?
Yeah.
Like, when you're in a stadium, 40,000, you cannot hear nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like if you was there, I was here, I can't hear you. Can just about hear you. Like just about hear you. If a man, you need to run up to a man, depending on how the stadium is as well.
Yeah.
When I played against Everton, it was weird. on the match level, on the pitch level, up to about whoever's the tallest, you can hear everything. You can hear everything. You can all hear each other.
Yeah.
But you can't hear the crowd.
Yeah.
You just can't hear what they're saying. It's like a bowl. It's like there's a little bowl over the pitch,
Yeah.
and then everything outside of it you can't hear. You can't see anyone. You know, you look into the crowd, you ain't seeing a face. You don't see a face. It's like a blur, and you can't hear anything they're saying.
Yeah, no, fair
But it's definitely more fans. There's definitely more pressure. But it's good, isn't it? It's what you play football for.
Definitely.
Obviously, like being a footballer when you was young, like teenager, how did you balance football and GCSEs or exams at the time?
For me personally, I wasn't doing. So when I didn't get my scholar at Arsenal, that was around GCSE times. So like I actually stopped playing football.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you how I would balance it.
Yeah.
But going off of what I've heard from other friends, even what I see now, like the schools are more lenient. If you're in an academy and you're doing all that, they balance it. There's a balance.
Yeah.
So and there's a lot of support. There's a lot more support now. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you what that was like because I never done it.
Fair enough.
But when you was in the academy, you said he asked you as an adult. So what about as you know in academy, the best player you think you've played with?
Or best player I played with in academy. How probably? Do you know what? The best player I played with in the academy was Jay Simpson. He was the best player that was in my Arsenal team I played with. He actually went on to play for Arsenal as well. I had Hal Robson Canoe. He didn't go on to play for Arsenal. He had to play for Reading and Wales.
Yeah. Striker.
Yeah, he's played up front. You know, he scored that mad goal in the World Cup, the chop. We had Jack Wilshere. He's a bit younger than me though. I left by the time Fabregas come in. Who else was there?
But you see, you know Jack Wilshere, like,
Yeah.
everybody talks about how good he was.
Yeah, he was
Like-
good, man. I see him when I watched his first game, the game that actually got him signed at Arsenal. He was playing for Luton, and I was just standing on the side watching. And I remember this little short white kid, and he was tiny. So you know he stands out straight away because he's tiny. Just people couldn't get near him, man. They couldn't get near him. He was good. He was very good. Yeah, he's someone that I watched that went and had a decent Arsenal career. Obviously the injuries kind of killed him and stuff. Playing with the best player I played with was DJ Campbell.
Okay.
DJ Campbell was cold. When I watched him when he come training, I watched him. I was like, you know, the way the man just even his first touch of that. Wow, fucking, that's Premier League. Is that what Premier League looks like? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was cold. Max Kilman. He's at West Ham now.
Yeah.
He was a young G when he was with us at Maiden. He was 18. And I remember thinking, I never used to think, oh, Prem player. A Prem player, but you knew he was cold and he's 18.
Yeah.
And he's only done a season, and then he done a season and bang, gone. I didn't even think he'd done a whole season. He went, got to move to Wolves, become the captain of Wolves.
But that's what happens in non-league, man. You get snatched up.
This is what I'm saying. An 18-year-old player, and he didn't really have a mad academy background. But you're 18 playing in a National League. That's crazy. You could go from National League to the Premier League just like one move. You know what I mean? Max Kilman's a prime example. You know what I mean? He actually ended up captaining Wolves. Now he's at West Ham. Like he's killed it.
Yeah.
So it happens, man. It happens a lot.
Do you still believe that if the opportunity was there to go into full-time football, would you take it, or would you feel like
When now?
Yeah, like just let's say
As a player,
a club coming for you, full-time football. Listen, we want you on a decent contract.
Yeah.
Taking it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I don't think anyone would say that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? What I'm starting to see now, what comes into a factor at this age now is that because I'm basically here now and I've seen other boys around. If you manage to secure yourself a good job, future, with a mad future, you're not gonna take that deal. Because it's like you're throwing that away to go and do full time again, which you're not gonna get offered more than a year or 2 years, 2 years max. You're not getting a 3-year deal, 36. Like, and so it probably wouldn't be the wisest decision.
Yeah.
But based on your current employment status or whatever you would take it.
Yeah, definitely.
Me, I'll snap your arm off for that. Another 2 years, play full time. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll put everything on hold. Yeah. But some people wouldn't.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be the highlight of your career?
Definitely playing in the 5th round of the FA Cup against Everton. I thought getting called up for my country was sick. Playing in the World Cup, in World Cup qualifiers, that's definitely out there with a highlight of my career, to be honest. That's probably the best. Yeah, probably the best. But playing beating Bournemouth at their home ground to get into the 5th round.
Yeah.
That was a highlight, and then playing against Everton.
Wait, how do national call-ups actually work? Like, do they actually call you?
Yeah, they call you. Yeah, so how mine? Yeah, you get a phone. I got a phone call from a president of my country saying that they're interested in bringing me on board. I met him in a hotel in Victoria. Said when he flies in, he's gonna come meet me. A few players. And you have to bring your passport and stuff just to make sure you're eligible to play for the country. Because you'd be surprised, people would think you're saying like I'm from Montserrat, yeah? A guy would be like, yeah, I'm Montserratian. But he's not Montserratian.
Yeah.
But his nan, we had this actually, his nan was married, his granddad was married to a Montserratian woman who he called his gran, but it isn't his biological gran. So you're not qualified. So I just met him. Yeah, 100. I mean, if you can get away with it, which you probably can't, then you would try, innit? But yeah, that's how that happened. And I went and met him, and yeah, from there I got called up.
Okay.
I'd say, what's one thing you still believe you can and would like to achieve before you end up, stop playing? Because there is going to be a point where, you're going to have to call it a day. What's
Don't remind me.
What's maybe like 1 or 2 things you'd love to achieve?
Do you know what? There's 2 things I'd love to achieve. I've never been promoted before.
Okay.
So I'd love to have a promotion on my belt, and also playing at Wembley. So I see my friend posted the other day, same age as me, playing a level below me now. He's got promoted this year. They're getting promoted, and they're going to Wembley. So he's done it all in one season.
So are you playing in the same league as Hashtag?
No, they're step 3. I'm in step 4 now. Yeah. So like I'd love to play at Wembley, like in a cup final at Wembley. They're in the FA Vase Trophy, which is like the non-league cup. Yeah. So I'd love to be able to do that, to be honest. Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Okay, a final question. Like, I was just from an outsider's perspective, football just seems it's such an emotional game, right?
Yeah.
Run by emotions. Like, it's such an emotional game. What would you say is pivotal to also, having a level of emotion, but being able to control it and play your best football?
Yeah. So there's different ways to look at it. If you're asking as a player, you need to be in control of your emotions because it's a combat sport, football.
Yeah.
I always tell parents that getting their kids into football, I'm like, it's a blood sport. Like it's not much different to UFC or boxing, and like obviously you're not standing there punching each other up, but it's a battle, it's a fight between you and the guy you're playing against, and that person's willing to do whatever it takes within the rules or the ones he can bend to beat you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's important, especially if you play against a player like me, because I will wind you up. I'll get in your head. I do all that side of the game.
Yeah.
Because I lack other bits. I can't outspeed you, so I'd have to outthink you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that part of that for me is to get inside your head and make you start to doubt you as a player, etc., etc. So I think being able to control your emotions is pivotal. But football is a game of emotions.
Yeah.
And like, as a fan now, if you ask me as a fan, I want to see emotion. I want to see
that.
players getting upset, getting happy. It makes for a better watch, innit?
Yeah.
But like as a player, I would definitely advise like you need to be mentally strong, because the moment you go, that's it. Game's over.
Yeah.
Game's over. It takes a strong character to be like, I just can't control the ball today. Because today I just can't control it. It happens.
It happens.
Well, but you know what? I'm gonna work hard. I accept it. I'm gonna have a terrible game like that. So now I need to do something else to offer something else in this game. And if that's me, when my touch ain't right today, I'm tackling harder. I'm pressing harder. I'm doing all these sort of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you definitely need to be mentally strong. And that's what a lot of players find that difficult. But that's what it is. That's football.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to talk about. The young boys coming to play with men. You're playing against a man now who wants to get under your skin. He's going to kick you. He's going to say this about your mum. He's going to say that about this. He's going to do whatever it takes to put you off your game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's definitely a game you need to be mentally strong. The highest level is the mentality, man. It is the concentration. That's like in the Premier League, you don't see that much mistakes. Watch the Championship. There's loads of mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Keepers especially.
There's a lot of mistakes, but the Premier League is the highest level. Man. Do you know how many things you need to have a green tick on to basically play in the Premier League? Like, wow, so much has got to be together to actually get to play at that level.
So do you generally think the Premier League is the hardest league in the world?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. It is the hardest. It's the hardest league in the world. Is it producing the best players? No. But it is the hardest league in the world. Why? Because there's so many teams that are competing. Like the rubbish team could be the best team right now. Like if you look at La Liga, there's what, 3 teams?
Yeah,
3 teams. German league, 2 teams. The French league, 1 team.
Yeah.
Like the most competition is in England.
Premier League, yeah.
But are they producing the best players? No.
Probably not.
But what you said on like producing the best players, do you think that's because like English coaches are coaching talent out of players, like programming them more?
I think, excuse me, I think the issue we have is going from a grassroots level. No, the issue we have is such a business focused. This football here is so business focused, results business, money. It's you're either in or you're out. You're gone.
Yeah.
Whereas in Spain, in Germany, it's all about the football. The business aspect comes second.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, if you look now, in England we have the lowest rate of UEFA B or A licensed coaches, because here it costs so much to get. I think it's like 12,000 or 6. Don't quote me on the price, but it is significantly a lot more expensive than to do it in Germany, Spain, and other countries.
Yeah.
So then what happens is you're getting less qualified coaches. So at grassroots level, the quality of the coach, no disrespect to the ones that are doing it, is a lot lower than it can be based on the price of how much it costs to actually get this qualification.
Yeah.
So if you look who producing the most players, it ain't England.
Spain.
It's got to be Spain, even France. France are producing better players, and it all comes down to like the price. It's all business here. Everything's business. Like in academy football in Spain, they want you to pass. Here, what they do, they want the player that can beat someone a guy score and do a dribble. They want an individual, not a team player. Because they're just focused on, oh, we're going to get this player and we're going to sell him for this much. Then we need to keep producing wingers, or attacking players.
Yeah.
So we can sell, sell. But then it's obviously it works to a certain extent. But look at Spain, man. Look at the players they're producing.
Yeah.
They're producing crazy amount of players right now that can play at the top level.
Yeah.
And in the Premier League, the best young players don't even get to play in the Premier League. It's happening more now. It's definitely happening more now, and that needs to keep happening so they can produce more and more players. But I just think the ethos of an English player and what they want, it isn't the best player on the world stage. Because of what? English player? Who's the best English player?
Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham?
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, probably Bellingham. Yeah.
And would do you reckon he has the same career if he didn't go to Germany?
No.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what team? I remember Man United wanted him, but would they have played him? No.
I think
Do you know what I mean?
at United, I think everybody.
Yeah, it's bad, terrible club. Don't know how you can support a club like that.
Yeah.
Terrible club.
Okay.
All you London Man United fans, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
How?
Oh, you London Man United
Yeah.
man. Damn. That's crazy.
Football's everywhere. Yeah. Like, you don't know. You can live one place and support a different team. But anyway, talking about United. But yeah, this has been really interesting as well to get your insight on just football in general, because it's a worldwide game. Sorry, it's growing by the second and it's always evolving. So to get insight from a certain section of time in football, it's really helpful. So once again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks
TouchlineTalks.
for having me.